Valen, Sylvain, Hudson, find me. As if they'd heard her, the door opened. Warm light and the scent of them filled the night. It took every bit of energy she had, but she tipped her head back until she could meet their beautiful eyes. She almost didn't recognize them. Their faces were bleak, devoid of expression, with eyes as empty as she felt inside. But when they saw her, they changed. Disbelief, confusion, hope. Briar wanted to wrap them in her arms, but she couldn't move. She was weighed down with something that made movement impossible. If she didn't fill up and slake this thirst, she'd die. Again. She swallowed hard. With the last bit of energy she had, she whispered, "Marcus, I'm thirsty." Marcus moved fast. She remembered a time when she wouldn't have been able to track his movement, but now she could. He reached over Sylvain, sweeping her into his arms. He buried his face in her neck and breathed her in.
Briar, oh God.
They rushed into the living room, but he didn't let her go. The others crowded around her. Hudson knelt by her, pushed back her hair, and studied her face.
You're alive.
His voice broke, and his icy blue eyes filled with pain.
How are you alive?
She lost her voice, used up the last of it speaking to Marcus, so she shook her head. She kept her hand wrapped around her throat, as if it would ease the ache, and Hudson's eyes widened.
Marcus, blood,
he whispered. But Marcus hadn't let her go. Maybe he couldn't. His arms tightened around her, and he shook his head. So it was Valen who left and returned with an IV bag full of blood. Briar breathed in. She could smell it, the metallic tang beneath the heavy plastic, and held out her hands before jerking them back. Why did she want it? What would she do with it? Her gums swelled and something pricked her tongue. Slowly, she lifted a hand to touch her teeth. Fangs. The logical part of her brain overrode the part of her that was freaking out. Okay. So this was why she was alive. Okay. Hudson passed her the bag, and she took it, wincing at the cold and the way it sloshed inside the plastic.
Bite it, he said. It will help.
She brought it to her face, aware of Valen and Sylvain watching her. Delicately, she bit through the plastic. Coppery and tangy liquid filled her mouth, and she gagged. Forcing herself to swallow, she quickly gave the bag back to Hudson. Get it away from me. She didn't want to smell it, and she gagged again. Over and over she swallowed, trying to rid her mouth of the horrid taste. It had done nothing to quench her thirst. If anything, it was worse now.
You have to drink, Briar,
Hudson whispered.
It will help.
No. She shook her head, and Marcus drew back. He sat straight, studying her. In the quiet of the room, Briar heard his heart give a strong thump, and his pulse throbbed in his neck. Gaze drawn there, she eased forward and breathed in. He smelled so good, her mouth watered. Comfort, ease. She pressed her face against his neck, wanting to bathe in his scent. It was as if Marcus knew what she needed. Strong hands cupped the back of her head, pushing her toward his skin.
Bite,
he whispered, and helpless against the urge, she flicked her tongue against his skin. Yes, this was what she wanted. Now she could move. Briar straddled him and eased back to hold his face between her hands. Her gaze went to his neck again, and then to his face as she waited for permission.
Bite, Briar,
he whispered, and his pupils dilated, hiding the sea-foam green of his irises.
Do it.
Hesitantly, she dipped her head, eyes locked with Marcus, until her lips grazed his skin. And then she bit. Briar. How to explain the